The day is finally here. We are putting an engine and trans into the black car and taking it over to the turbo guy, Taylor. We're taking it over to Taylor and he is gonna get started fabbing up the turbo kit on this car. But no, we're not putting in the engine that you're probably expecting us to, but I'll explain. So if you guys did not see last video, you really need to go check it out. But we unboxed the new built engine for this car and it is absolutely incredible. I'm not going to show you guys any details about it or tell you anything about it in this video. If you want to see that, you can click up above and go check it out. It was absolutely crazy. In that same video, we actually just announced a new giveaway car that started last video actually. So if you guys missed it, basically this is a GT350. We're taking a lot of the parts off of this car. We're gonna make kind of like a replica of that car in this. It's called Legacy. And basically, since we're changing up everything about this car, we're building kind of sort of a look-alike to it and using a GT350. And so this car is basically gonna continue on the legacy of the looks and everything. And that car is about to undergo a lot of changes, including a completely new engine, powertrain, and power adder setup. And so, like I said, if you guys missed that video, we talked about the whole entire build and everything that we're planning on doing with it. If you guys remember, the last engine that we had in that car that took a crap was this one right here, and it's still in the engine stand, and we've had it sitting on the engine stand. And today, finally, I get to tell you guys everything that has been going on, what we're doing with this engine, and why I am about to put a blown up motor back into a car. So let's get started assembling a blown up engine, dropping the K member out of that car, and we're gonna throw a blown Coyote and a transmission in that car. So let's go ahead and get started. So the last thing that you guys saw with the black car was actually about 7 months ago. We were pulling this engine apart. The reason why is because it failed before we could even take it out to the track. And we were curious about why. We took it apart, found that main bearings had failed. And so then we went and ordered our built engine and we waited on it to come in. And finally it arrived. It took a while, but we answered a lot of the questions about why it took so long in that previous video that I mentioned earlier. But anyways, today what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be taking this blown up Coyote. Thrust washer's just falling out. But anyway, main bearing just falling out. But anyway, we are going to be taking this blown Coyote and main bearing too. So anyways, we are going to be taking this blown Coyote. I'm going to be throwing some heads on it that we've got sitting over there. Every bit of this stuff is just pretty much completely destroyed. It's a mess. But the reason why we've been hanging on to this is because it's a perfect mock-up block. And what I mean by that is I'm going to throw heads on here. We're going to throw an intake manifold. We're going to throw a throttle body, everything that we pretty much will need to build out the turbo kit. And what I mean is that this engine, let me go over here and just pop the hood so I can explain a little bit better. This turbo kit timeline, technically, that we're hoping for is gonna be about a month. And so from the time that we drop off the car to Taylor with the engine and trans in, he needs an engine and trans to be able to start the mock-up. And so essentially, with the engine in place, it's not gonna be the built engine, but it'll be a good enough template to start with, so that way he can build out the manifolds, trying to get turbo manifolds to come to the front, have a twin turbo setup. Don't know where we're gonna get downpipes to exit yet, but again, without having the engine in the car, it's very hard, obviously, for him to be able to build out the turbo kit. So in the meantime, while he's building the turbo kit with that blown engine in here, we are going to be working on finishing up assembly of this engine, putting the intake manifold, putting the clutch, putting the built trans, pairing up everything that we need so that whenever we get this car back from Taylor with the new turbo kit in hand, we'll be able to take this blown engine out, put our entire built power plant that at that point we should have gotten everything, all the kinks worked out with, back into the car, put the new turbo kit on, and start it up for the first time. So that should give us the perfect amount of time to get everything done that we need to. And so that is why today I'm going to be assembling this blown up engine and kind of just getting it together so that way it's a good mock-up for him. So anyway, we're gonna get that done, get that thrown into the car, and bring it over to Taylor. So you guys have kind of seen us do this a lot, and we don't even have to really torque anything or even do anything right at all, being that we're just, again, trying to get it in place just for mock-up. So this is gonna go rather quickly. Failed head gasket, 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 failed head gasket. Sorry, not trying to roast, just trying to reminisce. I haven't even looked at any of these parts in so long. All right. Before I cut myself on the casing of those heads, I'm gonna go ahead and put gloves on. Every time, for some reason, that I end up messing with heads and inside of blocks and stuff, I always come out with just the most nasty gashes on my hand. I'm a klutz, I guess. I don't know. Or an idiot. Or both. All right. One head on. Now I need to find out where our main nuts, head nuts. There we go. And these should be a 12 point, I believe. All right, I'm not even gonna put too much. I'm just gonna put 2 of these nuts in place just to hold the head on. That should be good. Let me get this windage tray and all that crap out of the way. I'm gonna leave the crank rods and pistons over there because we're not gonna have to do any of that. We will have to put valve cover on, and I'll have to grab an intake manifold to throw on here. All right, head number 2. Let me grab 2 of these nuts. I'm trying to think. So heads on, we've got those tightened down. We do need to get valve covers on. After we get our valve covers on, I can leave everything on the back as is because we don't even need to do any rear cover or anything like that. I do need to do an oil pan, so I can put the oil pan on the bottom, our entire wire harness for the car. Don't need cams, don't need timing set, don't need pickup tube. This is so super unnecessary, but we'll do it anyway. All right, valve cover number 1 is on. Grab this other one and get it put on. All right. Valve cover number 2. Wait, are these products for this, for the GT350 giveaway? Yeah. Are you serious? Look guys, if you guys want to go grab some stuff, there you go. You can get in and win that car. That is actually crazy. All right, starting to look like an engine now. Heads on, timing cover on. Need to get the oil pan on. And then after that, I think that might be it. Grab oil pan. Get it set in place. I'm just gonna grab a few bolts to hold the oil pan on. All right, oil pan, timing cover, heads. I think that's pretty much all that we need to throw together on this thing before we can drop it in the car. Oh, flip over. Oh, you heavy bastard. There we go. Whew. All right. So there we go. Now we've got a blown up Coyote to use as a perfect mock-up. Just got to throw a trans on the back of it, set it on the K-member, get it up in the car, and it should be good to go. All right, now next up, we've got this Coyote lift plate. Basically, all this helps us do is really just lift it, get it out of the way. So plate bolts to the heads on the intake manifold, bolts down there, and gives us a nice place to access to get this thing up in the air with our engine hoist. All right, now we can grab our engine hoist, hook that thing onto there, tighten this thing up here, and then get that thing lifted off the ground. Alrighty, now we got some support. We got some weight supporting it now. There we go, free floating Toyota. Tell you what, those are like 14 on the back, 13, probably 13. Let's try a 13. Yeah, it is in fact a 13. There we go. Floating up in the air, we've got our bell housing bolts back here. Then we use to attach the trans to the back of the engine. So I'll set those in there just so we don't lose those. And there we have it. Perfect mock-up. So now I'm going to take that over there. We're going to get the K-member dropped out of the car, get a trans paired to the rear, set our trans and engine combo onto the K-member, get it put up in the car. If you guys saw the last video, we had to have the car backed in here because we were filming some stuff, but since we're going to get it up on the lift and all that good stuff, we're going to pull it out, flip it around, get it back in here and get it up in there. These cars aren't that bad when there's no engine trans in them.
Maximum weight reduction.
I'm sure we could at least make one pass by foot. Already be better off. Feels like it has been just forever since I've had this car up on the lift. Which, I mean, I guess it kind of has. All right, lift arms are all in place. Time to get this thing off the ground for the first time in a while. All right, so I've got it off the ground a little bit. I feel like I've gone through these steps so many times, but I'm gonna pull off strut tower bolts up here, get the wheels off of the front. Once we get the strut tower bolts and the wheels off, I'm gonna come underneath down here and get all of our K-member bolts out. Once we get our K-member bolts out, everything should be about ready to drop, being that we've got nothing else connected. So I'll get some jack stands put underneath the K-member, pull all the bolts out once it's resting on there, and lift the entire car up off of the K-member. So let me go ahead and grab some jack stands and get started. Now that I got those loose, I'll tighten them down a few threads by hand, just so that way they don't back off. That way I don't accidentally drop the entire strut assembly on my head. Now we need to get our wheels out the way. All right, front runner out of the way on this side. So now, as you guys see, the only thing that's pretty much holding us up is this upper strut up here. So that's why I left those bolts in, so that way we don't just drop that out. Our other front runner's off. Next up, I need to take off our calipers and get them zip tied up out of the way, which conveniently they're actually only held on by hand tight bolts. I grab 2 zip ties. All right. Let me thread our bolts into here so we don't lose them. And then I'm gonna zip tie caliper from here. All right, caliper is hung out of the way on this side. Second caliper is out of the way. I'll leave the rotors on. Let me double check and see if there's anything else. ABS sensors are already out of the way from the last time. ABS sensor out of the way, caliper hung. Yep, so at this point, we're good to drop the car down. So I'm gonna get our jack stands put underneath the K-member. All right, now I'm just gonna get all these K-member bolts out of the way and get ready to drop it down. All right, so quick check. And I'm pretty sure I've got everything loose now, so I can drop the car back down. We're gonna get the K-member lined up onto the jack stands. I'm gonna take off our upper strut bolts, take off the 2 that are left on both sides in the K-member. And then after that, the whole car should be ready to lift off of the K-member as a whole. Pretty cool stuff, man. One more bolt and we're good to go. All right. Now the strut comes down. Everything else should be good to go. All right, strut's out over here, which means I've got one more bolt. We're ready to go. All right, K-member is completely disconnected at this point. Make sure our brake line's out of the way. And I think we're good to go up. Okay. Let's do it. Still hanging up. There you go. That should be everything. Looky there. Doug is just now pulling up. By the way, guys, Doug's been working on the tune for the F-150, the Super Snake, and it has just been freaking riot. You guys will see more stuff on that real soon. All right, guys. Well, here we are yet again. Car is up in the air. K-member's on the ground. We're ready to drop our mock block onto the K-member, onto our motor mounts. After that, like I said, we're not putting a clutch on the back. There's no reason to. All we're doing this for is just for mocking up turbo kit. So engine on motor mounts, we'll do a transmission on the back, attach the trans mounts back here, get the K-member put back up, and we'll be ready to drop it off to Taylor. All right, mine's in.
Just hold it right there so that we can finger tight these. Oh no, it slipped out.
Oh, mine did too. I just need to go down to like a, if you can go down like another ½ inch, I'll be able to start my threads. There we go. All right.
At least you don't have to worry about alignment on the clutch this time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, slide that back around.
Oh, son of a bitch. Let me get over here. So there we go. Nice and simple. Trans bolted to the back of the block. Don't have to put all the bell housing bolts, nothing like that in. But at this point, we should be good. Drop the car back down onto the K-member, get everything lined up. We'll just have to tighten up our cross member bolts back here, K-member bolts, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's just all gotta sit there for us. That's about it. We'll go ahead and line up, or at least start lining up the, yeah, just to make sure that they're pointed in the right direction at least. We're having a little bit of an alignment issue with the K-member now. Since we set the engine and everything, it shifted just a slight bit, so we're gonna get a jack, lift it up, rearrange it to get it lined up, and then we'll drop the car the rest of the way down. You want to do cross member bolts for the trans up in the air? Or you think we need to put them in before we lift on it?
Probably needs to try to go up before we, needs to go in before we bring it up.
Yeah, at least start a few of them.
Well, I mean, you can't really, there's no extensions in the back of the head, so technically it could droop, it's not going to break it off.
Let me see how bad it's going to droop. I'll just slowly go up with it and see.
It's fine, it's got that cross member brace from the...
Oh yeah, from the K-member, okay. Up we go. All right, well there we have it. We finally got our mock engine set up in place here. As you guys can see, obviously we don't have a radiator in yet, but out in front we've got a lot of room for activities, so I'm sure Taylor's gonna have plenty to work with. Everything is sitting real nice. We still gotta get an intake manifold and we'll bolt that up top whenever Taylor's getting ready to do the cold side, but basically like the cold side pipe, I mean after the turbo, so the charge pipe that goes into the manifold through the throttle body. We'll get all that done later on, but for now, this is a great place to start with. And it's finally back to a roller. It can move around and it's good to go. So, well guys, at this point, we've got the car pretty much ready to load up into the trailer. So we'll see you at Taylor's. We are on our way over to Taylor's right now to go drop off the black car to get started on its turbo kit. It's 9:50 in the morning and it's raining today.
We on like 40.
We on like 40. I'm really looking forward to today, to be honest. Really looking forward to it. So we brought Sean along because
I'm the moderator.
The moderator.
I'm the moderator.
he is the moderator to make sure that we're doing this turbo kit right and not doing it no pussy way of putting them down underneath the transmission like on the GT350. Sean came here, put his foot down and says, no, we're not doing that on this car.
I said
This is now Sean's decision.
I said every thumbnail needs to have a turbo wheel in it. And I talked to Taylor yesterday and he was like, we're putting the turbos on the roof.
I want to put them, what I think would be just like the optimal setup is to still have a hood, but on that car, that on the above the headlights, there's like hood vents. I want to take those hood vents out and just have like half of a turbo wheel peeking at you.
Oh yeah.
Like through there, through the hood.
No, that would look sick.
Like you could just see turbine wheel just facing you, but only half of it. So it's just like, it's just poking out like this. Taylor was trying to go fucking dumb with this car. He was saying that he wanted to do titanium pipes, mirror image turbos, and do like,
Hey, titanium's the move. It really is.
yeah,
It's not too bad. It really ain't too bad.
my ass.
It really ain't.
I bet for him to do that full turbo kit in titanium would probably be almost 10 grand in materials.
No, just the downpipes. Probably be like an extra $600.
Actually, no, you're right. Okay. I'm liking that, actually. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I was thinking that he was wanting to do the entire hot side in titanium, and I was about to be like, dog, that's gonna get fucking expensive. Titanium headers and shit. Oh, I didn't even pull nearly far enough. Can you watch the camera, make sure I don't accidentally jackknife this mug?
You're good.
Oh, you're golden now.
You're good. You're good.
Keep cutting it.
You're good.
Wait till you see what engine's in here.
Does it have the built motor in here?
No.
Nope.
That's a mock-up block, huh?
Oh, I know what motor's in here.
It's kind of a mock-up block.
You guys got a few cracks in it?
It's got a few something.
It's missing a lot of parts actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I got a block in here.
You put a LS in here, right?
Yep, that's it. LS block. Bum 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 bum.
Tesla swap.
Super fast. This poor car.
I mean, poor car.
It's so dirty, bro. I guess I need to call Taylor and let him know we're here.
Oh my god, look at the dog.
Oh my god.
I literally got it just jumping up there.
Never in my life, dude. You're like a little spider monkey.
Hey man, we're here.
Oh, he got his leg.
Wait,
Yo,
what the
where does that leg go?
Oh, snap, your leg.
Wait.
The last time I saw this dog, it had 4 legs.
Yeah, what happened?
Lieutenant Dan.
Wait, he just lost it. It's got.
Yeah, it's got stitches in it. How'd he break his leg again on that?
He got hit by a truck.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, damn. What's going on, man? How you doing? Brought you another piece of shit.
Run?
Nope.
I'm used to it. Sean brings his car over all the time.
He's used to it.
So I don't have we just have a moth block pretty much in here.
Okay.
It's just an empty block. There's not even a crank in it.
Okay.
Transmission. Yeah. I put trans on the back. There's no clutch. We literally just threw a bunch of shit together just so you could have at least the stuff in there. So I guess above and beyond that, we just got to figure out where to mount shit.
Alternators here.
Yeah, on the bottom right.
Yeah, AC's going back on it.
If it'll fit, then sure, it'd be cool. But if not, then race car will take it off. So what a lot of people have done, I don't know how you would want to do it, but I know there's a kit that has like charge pipe in the center, and then they've got the two the two turbos sitting on the sides.
Yeah, because my biggest question is gonna be like, how race car you want to make this thing? Like, yeah, so we could do. I've done one recently. I did it right in the grill, and then I did like one here in the fog lights of a S197.
Yeah.
And then I did a radiator like tucked up in here, down underneath it. But it was a methanol car. But yeah, that's where I was just trying to figure out what we need to run an air-to-air intercooler, or what your plans exactly for the car is going to be.
I'd like to do air-to-air just because at that point it could still drive if we wanted to. I was planning on doing just like air-to-air on E85.
Yeah.
And just, we've had, like on the other car, we've had real good luck with that. It's a 6-inch core air-to-air on that car, and it's like 70-degree IATs after a lot of holes. So, but that's also a 6-inch core, but it'll fit in there. It just really depends on turbo placement after that.
So, are you scared to cut the hood?
Who?
You.
Me? Fuck no. That's what I'm here for. I was wanting to do something wild, whether it be out of the hood or almost out of the fenders down here, or like, I don't even really know. The very original idea that I had for it was, this was like whenever I was first ever wanting to turbo this car years and years ago, what I was wanting to do was do like, almost like turbos sitting here at a 45.
For sure.
And have the wheels facing this way, and then downpipes just coming straight, and relocating fuse box, PCM, and just having them come like, pretty much, it would be like right around this area.
That would be cool.
I was thinking that could be something that would be cool, but
Putting them on angles is really neat too, because just, you see so many store-bought kits that the turbos are just straight.
Yeah.
And so just from a glance, it's like, oh, that's just a such and such kit or something.
Yeah.
They don't realize how much extra is into what you have when the turbo placement is just similar to a store-bought kit.
Right.
But when they're on an angle or move somewhere else. But I do like that's my go-to is either 45 on them this way or 45 on them at the up to a center point.
depending on the height that you were wanting to do, I was thinking about even just cutting out holes up there to where half the turbine could be just sticking out to where you shut the hood, you can see like half the whole housing and everything, but
I'm feeling that.
it's really up to whatever that you think is feasible more than anything.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at it from the front of the car, there'd be headlights, you can see probably like half of 2 wheels and then just downpipes right behind it. Hardest thing I guess at that point would be just relocating fuse box, PCM, and probably getting the brake lines out the way a little bit, unless you think they'd be okay there.
I've been trying to do banding clamps on everything. I just think it looks better. I think that'd be neat, do a vibrant clamp.
Yeah.
A vibrant clamp here. You wouldn't really see it in the bottom, but it's just a hassle-free connection,
Working on it makes it.
Yeah, it's a hassle-free connection. You basically have 2 little short down pipes, weld one on each of the compressor housings, one on each of the intercooler, and then they make them, you can buy them split aluminum 1/2 aluminum, 1/2 titanium if we want to do titanium downpipe or charge pipes.
Okay.
Stock intake,
I don't know. Probably gonna do a billet intake, honestly, of some sort.
Frankenstein or a something like that.
Yeah. I have to look into it, look at pricing, really, I guess. So, plan, I guess, at the moment would be to order relocation for fuse box and ECU. 45 out, have downpipes going out that way. Yeah, I'm thinking if it was sitting like that and it was at a 45, that should give plenty enough room for a downpipe right there, and turbo should fit and still give plenty enough room in the center, maybe, for intercooler and radiator.
Where are the wastegate you think are going to be located?
I wasn't gonna put wastegates on it.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to run all the boosts, right?
80 pounds.
If possible, I mean, we should probably not.
Hey, honestly, the motor that's going in there probably damn take it.
No, so what's probably going to happen is the collector's going to come out right in here, and so it'd be like 2.5 inch piping, and like 45 this way and 90 up into the turbo, and so in the back radius of the 90, probably put the wastegate here,
Straight down.
and dump down, or we could that's where it's going to have to be, is in the back radius the back radius of the elbow. Or we could turn it sideways and then like loop it and come with the downpipe. So we could either turbo here, wastegate the bottom of the radius. We could point it to the side and like roll it up with the downpipe, and that would look kind of cool.
Like stacked with the downpipe.
Yeah, because cause we could do them like on an angle, you know, kind of similar like.
Oh yeah.
So basically the same principle.
Actually, I didn't even think about it, but that's kind of a decent representation. Or if those were clogged 45 and sitting in an engine bay, it'd be kind of similar looking.
What's power goal like in the end? 1800.
Nah, it's really like 13 to 15.
Okay.
We can always do bigger turbos later on.
Yeah. So like some 62s or 62 66s, 66s, 62s, all that right around there would be good. Good for this. Like 62 is super good for coyotes. All the, to 62 66s, to 66 62s, to 66 66s. Like those are the four. Like
that work real well.
That work real well, depending on street use, like how fast you want them to light, versus.
I'm gonna tell you right now, like being a stick car, the way this is, like it's gonna light up on a two-step immediately.
Yeah.
Like
well, that's like on the GT350. We got twin 67s, and that thing is like, it is on the fucking dime. As soon as you want it, it's there. It's pretty impressive.
I will probably make the core or build the intercooler myself. I just buy a core, cut the tanks and bend them up and weld them, and then I'm gonna see if they offer a billet coyote head flange. The collectors are universal, so I'll just get price list on that, the hot side, and then I'll price the cold side aluminum or titanium.
Okay.
And then we'll just go from there. And then you can find an intake for it, or you want to?
I can look.
Okay.
I'll look. I'll get on it.
I don't think I'm going to need the balancer on it, because I don't think nothing's going to go on right in that area.
Yeah.
'Cause I plan on just coming like on this side of the sway bar, just up and in.
That should be plenty then.
And then the alternator, maybe.
I can get you an alternator.
Maybe get an alternator later.
Yeah, I've got one at the shop, so.
And then I'll bolt this up, and then we'll look into moving this stuff over here.
Okay.
Then we can just do the same thing.
Out of curiosity, I know this is like probably super hard to tell at this point, but do you have like any idea of a timeline at all?
It's been taking me like a month to build a turbo kit once I've got everything in for it. Okay. So
probably like worst case a month and a half, 2 months at this point then.
Yeah, that would be a good number. Just because some of the stuff has been hard to get.
Yeah.
Still, after everything that's been going on in the world, I know. Some stuff is still hard to get.
Trust me, I know. That's the headache with doing YouTube, is people for some reason forget that is a thing. Like forget that it's hard to get shit right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's actually why it took so long for this thing to get, the engine to get here, is just because we were waiting on all the manufacturers to give him all the parts just so he could start assembling the engine in the first place. So
I ordered an intake for my car 2 months ago, and on Holly's website the back order date keeps moving and moving.
Yo.
Then yesterday on Facebook I seen a crane with all the shipping containers like fall over into the ocean. I'm like, that's my intake.
I guess if that is that, it's yours now, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah, actually I like the direction though that we're talking about. That seems so far like the best, by a long shot, the best kit that I had in mind.
This is gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, cool deal. That is pretty much that. This gentleman here is about to get started on this kit. Probably 6 weeks or so from now, this car will be back. and it is going to be back with a vengeance, I think. I guess in the meantime, we'll work on relocation for the fuse box, so he's got room to work with. We'll work on getting an intake manifold, mainly just ordering a bunch of parts. And after that, should be just throwing it all together and starting it up. Oh yeah, well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Another one back over here at your place.
Seems like the place to go.
It really is. I think I've had 5 cars with you now or something like that.
The Miata, the transmission of the white truck. I
Yep.
never got the white truck, but we did the transmission.
Yep.
And you remember how you paid me with that? 12-pack Mountain Dew.
Are you f***ing serious? I remember that.
Yeah. And it was,
Wait,
it was in the video too.
Yeah, I do remember that actually. No, yeah.
You're like, this dude, all he wanted was 12-pack of Mountain Dew for payment.
I could not make this up. His only request is that he do it for a case of Mountain Dew. So I got a case of Mountain Dew.
Yeah, we did the Miata, the white truck, the Camaro, the GT350,
The Tesla.
and the Tesla, and now this one.
So this is the 6th car. You know, this is the 6th engine that will be in this car too. Whenever we get that.
I've had 6 LSs in my car, so don't worry.
Oh yeah, but you're not a YouTuber, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter about you. It's only fucking me.
Yeah. And mine are 300 a pop. So.
Yeah. Yeah, mine are not. Mine are 6 months of waiting each and like 20 grand.
Yeah. Hey, coyote things.